Aye. Nerdy dude stuff. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video about Helium. For some reason, a couple of you leave comments that you want to see more Helium content. There's not a lot going on to give content on other than all the hips that are just ruining everything, and the price continues to tank, and I mean, I can't even be clickbaity with it anymore. Like, I've been a huge advocate and a huge fighter. 2021 was the gold rush for Helium, and it was a great time to get into it, and it just looked like the sky was the limit. There was nothing that could hold us back. We had some questionable things voted for, validators, consensus groups, all that stuff taken away, changed, move around, denomination changes, 5G changes, which I think is probably one of the biggest killers of the platform. We'll talk about that here in just a moment after we look at my account. If this is your first time on the channel, please take a moment to consider subscribing, turning on that bell notification, liking this video, as we are falling under 22,000 subscribers, which means I probably have to get rid of this trophy because I hit 22,000 in May or April, and this is for passing 22,000 subscribers, and we're going to fall under it. So please keep holding on to that 22,000 subscriber thread and like, comment, and subscribe. Anyway, let's pull up my screen. We'll go over my Helium accounts. I want some water first. We'll go over my Helium accounts and just kind of look at everything. And if this is your first time looking and discovering and wanting to get into Helium, I would say run. So we'll take a look at my numbers, take a look at what we're earning, kind of what we've been doing in the past couple of weeks with Helium, some of the decisions that we made that I thought would bite me in the butt, but actually I feel better about those decisions now. So let's jump over to the computer screen instead of continuing ranting and taking up your time. As always, if you like what you see, not today because we're going to work and we can't have alcohol before we go to work, but you could always buy me a beer, link in the description for buy me a coffee, which will totally do that as buy me a beer. Any donations for beer are greatly appreciated. Leave a comment on what you want me to try to find and I will do that. Quick update on the channel before we start moving on into the actual topic of today's discussion with Helium. Packet Stream, we got it back. We did a video last week where we talked about Packet Stream and how we got banned and the support that we've been reaching out and everything we've been going on. We got our account back and we did get our deposits. The next video I'm going to be doing will showcase that we did get those PayPal deposits. They did go into the account. We got some messages back from the team and kind of what we can do going forward, since everyone is kind of signing up underneath me and experiencing some of the issues that we did experience. So stay tuned, as we now, again, we're up to another almost $20 balance for the week. We are going to cash this out on the next video and then showcase everything that we're trying to go on from there. So with all that said, let's talk about Helium, okay? Now, if you look back at my channel history, oh my god, I'm not going to play fucking Dungeons and Dragons tomorrow. I don't mind doing this over Discord, but I'm hiding these alerts. It's my best friend. I've been telling him, like, I don't have time. I'm a dad. I could barely do my YouTube channel. I have work. I've got to play, video games when my kids and wife go to sleep, and I can't drive an hour and a half to play Dungeons and Dragons with you weekly to record a session for a podcast. If we want to do it on the computer over Discord like we have been recording, then we're going to do that. Otherwise, I don't know. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Different time, different channel. But, so, Helium sitting at $2.48. We've had an all-time high in 2021 at like $54. At one point, we had over $3.5 thousand worth of Helium, even at minimal price, in our account that we put into Thor, and that was a huge mistake, but that also crashed. Helium's crashing. It is what it is. For the past couple of weeks, I've been making passive income and on Helium mining, about getting about 1 to 1.5 a day at about a rate of $4 to $5, and I was cashing that out weekly just so that way I can kind of help increase my, pay my bills. It's passive income. It is what it is. I'm actually really glad I did that now, because sitting here looking at the current price, sometimes I never hit the lightning in a bottle where I jump into a platform and, you put $100 in and you make $1 million, which I'm really kind of hoping we'll get there with PowSwap. This is going to be a long-term thing. We'll talk about that in a different video. I do want to go back into this later, but we are increasing our holdings on there. But we're not withdrawing these holdings for anything. We've been withdrawing our passive income from Helium, and I'm actually kind of glad I did, because over the course of September and October, my wife and I were, going out on dates at Halloween Horror Nights, and we have a couple of beers. Parking's $25, so it was like taking out Helium to pay for date night or, to keep my cell phone bill on. And if I didn't do that, we would be losing the potential profits that we had in those months, because the price is now half of what it was back in October. Now, yes, I know there's a lot going on at FTX. Yes, I know a lot of the markets are crashing right now, and there is some opportunity for recovery, especially since we're also now sitting back under $1 billion in market cap. I haven't seen that in quite some time. But really, long story short, rant over, I don't feel that taking those profits and that passive income in Helium is going to hurt us in the long term. I really, at the rate that Helium's going, I don't see this being that moonshot, any reason for me to hold bags on this. I have no problem earning. I'm going to keep my Helium miners plugged in. I'm going to earn maybe 1.5 Helium a day, $2 to $4 a day. Nothing too crazy, but I'm still going to earn. I'm still going to keep them plugged in. So don't take that for me saying I'm jumping out of the project, I'm leaping out. I mean, I got the miner set up. I've actually, yes, blood, sweat, and tears setting up these antennas in attics for perfect placements. I was backing out of my antenna when I was setting up Brief Taupe Fox, which has been down for the past week, and I just did a reset on it, even though I've had the green light, and it's very peculiar. I've only gotten 2 Helium in the past 2 weeks, but I was installing this, and as I was backing out of my attic, one of the shingle nails sliced into my back. Fortunately, I didn't have to get stitches or anything like that. It just kind of looked like a deep cat scratch, and it cut one of my favorite shirts. So yes, I have put blood, sweat, and tears into this project to get the perfect placement to bring the content to you guys. You saw explosive channel growth in 2021 because of Helium. I started 2021 with about 5,000 subscribers. I ended 2021 with 21,000 subscribers. And then I picked up a little bit more into 2022. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, I've been hovering at 22,000 and I'm about to go under it because I don't do Helium content as much as I used to. I was doing 3, maybe 4 Helium videos a week. I was doing live streams on Helium, perfect placements. You guys were giving super chats for, get advice on your miners. It was amazing. 2021 was fantastic for Helium. Maybe when I got a new job and I stopped doing Helium, it kind of crashed. Maybe I could take credit for that. I don't know. Because unfortunately, with my new job, not working split shifts, I would work half the shift in the morning, do my YouTube content, half the shift at night. Now my new job, I'm pretty much doing like that 9 to 5, 3 to 11 kind of schedule, and I don't have a lot of time for content creation, unfortunately, but that's what I love doing. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's take a look at my overall account. And this is kind of what inspired today's video because it hurts. So we've got all of our hot spots pretty much with ideal placement. Most of them are doing solid. Funny Mossy Baboon, 0.2 Helium a day. Furry Mango Mockingbird, I unplugged that sucker. I need to get it removed from here, whatever. Soft Pink Dachshund, that has nothing to it. No placement, no nothing ideal, no upgraded antenna, 0.16. I'm happy with that. Big Current Manta Ray, that one that's my MileSite sitting up in my buddy's attic with a 6.0 McGill omnidirectional antenna, 0.38 HNT. Sour Walnut Goat, that's the one that's at my in-laws' house. This is the only external antenna that I have. It's the device that's actually outside. The device is outside, the antenna's outside, 0.2 as well. That's got a 5.8 McGill omnidirectional fiberglass flexiglass, whatever antenna. And then Brief Taupe Fox, which has been an idiot for the past few days, 5.8 dBi. That's the one that's here at my house. I just did a reset on it now, but it's gotten 0 in the past 14 days. But overall, back when the numbers were great, when Helium was going strong, when it was having, the gold rush, this is a beautiful day. If we were sitting at $54 a token in the past 24 hours, we just made about $50 worth versus today, which is at $2.29. This is insane. There's nothing going on with this platform. This is the Internet of Things, and there's no things happening. And that's what's kind of driving me nuts. And now everyone's talking about the whole cell phone network. I know people are getting their mobile tokens. I know you, Thunder, that you're going to talk about your mobile tokens, but I don't know if there's any way to cash it out or anything like that. I think that probably is a big Helium killer. Because now we're sitting here, when I've talked about this before, and less of I was still happy with it kind of Helium video, and more of a situation where it's like, I think that the mobile is providing the mobile signal and the 5G signal is going to kill off us providing signal with LoRa, because we've been establishing this network with LoRa just to have it go, you know what, we're not going to use that. We're not going to use LoRa whatsoever. We're going to use 5G now. So then if we all go through and establish a 5G connection and go, you know what, we still don't have any devices, so there's no reason, there's no purpose for us to use anything on LoRa or 5G. We're gonna now use, anal satellite, and that's the new signal. So you guys got to get your butt plug LoRa satellite antennas, and that's gonna be the coverage now. Fortunately, you can walk around with these ones and provide coverage mobily, but we're not gonna develop the Internet of Things on those previous signal coverages whatsoever. 2021, man, go back and watch some of the old videos. We were living the dream. There was plenty of things that they were talking about putting on these networks. You know, I was always excited to see these scooters scooting around and said, Helium's going to be on that one day. Someone's going to rent a scooter out in front of my house and I'm going to get that transaction fee. There's no point to these transaction fees or anything sitting in our activity because no one's able to spend Helium on the Internet of Things. You know, we've seen all these other Internet of Things devices pop out over the past year. Planet Watch that we've talked about, can't really say blocks Internet of Things because that's a game. But we looked at like Weather FM. Didn't bother getting into that platform just because of that initial pre-sale on Discord was a shit show. I think we've gotten like the doorway sensors. I think there's now like driving sensors. All that stuff is these. They're collecting. I don't mind the data collecting as much as I think with like Helium and the Internet of Things where it's trying to provide this signal. For what reason? Data collecting is fine. Like I really did enjoy what Planet Watch was doing. I agree with it. You collect the data, you provide it to these labs, these colleges, these engineers, all these places to do a better, greener Earth. And we could start with the homes. We could start with the offices and give advices with our Planet Watch sensors, which we actually unplugged ours yesterday just because of Pi-Fi, and we'll talk about that in another video if I ever get the chance to do it. But we actually unplugged it because I wanted the USB-C cord to charge my Nintendo Switch controller to play a video game with my wife and daughters. But I do have them sitting back over here waiting for use again. But anyway, those are all things that I could see with a project. Now, necessarily in the crypto space, when they create tokens to reward us with, the tokens end up not doing anything of value other than just being a reward. So really, what's driving the value and driving those prices versus something like Helium, where we get rewarded in Helium. People, if they want to use the Internet of Things and use these devices connected to this network, need to go through and purchase Helium. They need to do it on the Helium app. And then they need to do their transactions with Helium. And then people that get the transactions on their devices get the rewards back for those transactions. There's going to be a drive in the Helium price because of the necessity to purchase it, to use it. Like if you go to an arcade or, you know, Dave & Buster's, those, it's kind of, I mean, it's not gambling or anything like that in my head, but, you know, you go to Dave & Buster's, you need to get credits to play on these machines. Essentially, these machines are the Helium hotspots that we're providing, so you have to buy these credits to play on this machine to do what its purpose is. Now, if the owner of that machine, i.e. Dave & Buster's, they get those credits, which then have a dollar value back to them, and then that's how profit works for those. That's kind of, like, explain it to like I'm 5, what Helium could have been. You need Helium to do, I don't know, a giant BB-8 figure that goes on low-raw data to, you know, be a special effects in a movie. You need Helium to activate that. You spend it on there, and whoever's got that signal gets portion of that credit because that transaction was done on their network. Why are we seeing this versus what I see Helium doing is going, oh, well, things are good, but let's fuck it up. Let's get rid of consensus groups. That way there's no more people making 5,600 on one device magically overnight, killing off a gold rush and like a huge, it really didn't kill it off. But let's then switch to validators where you need 10,000 Helium to participate in that. Okay, well, fine. That's kind of screwing us over the little guy, but we have things like Helium staking that we can jump into and we can get going. And at least multiple Helium owners of like 100 to 1,000 Helium could all come together and become a validator together, get those rewards. All right, we'll work our way around that instead of the random consensus group. At least now we have a little bit of control. Awesome. All right, well, also the network's not doing much, so let's do this redenomination of the numbers. It worked with Polkadot. Maybe it'll work with Helium. Let's get that vote out there. Let's see if it could 4x the market cap. All right, it passed. Great. We're never going to come back to that ever again. We're just going to put it out there and say, awesome. All right, now let's go into we're going to, LoRa 5G. Okay, now all of us that have these devices where we spent $400 to $500 on these devices, now we have to get a $1,500 device and antenna to provide 5G connection when we just invested everything into these. Okay, well, now you're screwing us over. All right, well, okay. I think we're done with the project. Oh, well, let's go into Solana instead of doing our own Helium blockchain. No issue with the Helium blockchain, in my opinion. Transaction speeds were fairly quick. Fees were fairly low. But let's just ruin that all and go on to Solana. What is that going to do for us? Eliminate validators. All those people that are holding on to hope and putting their tokens into the validator pool with their buddies and friends to get 10,000. Well, to you, now we have a $2.48 token. End rant. Anywho, I did not mean to rant that long, but thank you very much for sticking around and listening to me probably kerfuffle a lot of garbage. But that's just how I'm feeling. jumped on. I haven't looked at Helium in the past couple of days because we had to get a new phone, and I have yet to recover my Helium phrase on this device so I can get back into the wallet. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to look at Helium for 2 weeks or so versus previously where I'm looking at Helium every single day. I know I've got a good setup. I have had multiple successes with my setup. There's no reason why I need to watch this every single day. So I decided to figured I got this phone last Thursday. I'm just not going to look at it for a week because I'm not going to put on my seed phrase into this app. I mean, I have it. I can pull it up as I want to. So I want to see where we're going to be at in a week. It's really kind of disappointing that after a week of not paying attention to Helium, we're sitting at $28. So that's how I feel. It's what inspired this video today. Didn't originally plan on doing content today because I didn't have a lot of time to reorganize my office. But I wanted to carve out this time to bitch and moan on the internet because that's what I like to do. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, all that good stuff. I'm Oprius. We'll see you guys next time.